Again, my name's Gabe Zollner. Watched a little bit of Fox, and then I went out for a little car ride and listening to Rush. And Rush was talking about an interesting kind of a situation. He reflected back on a gentleman that passed away. His name was Fred Barron. And Fred was a very staunch Democratic supporter. He was what they call a bundler. He would go out there and collect an awful lot of money in support of the Democratic Party. He also happened to have been an attorney, and he represented John Edwards during some of John Edwards' legal hassles that he was trying to deal with. But in either case, what the doctors found was that Fred Barron had a cancer that attacks the marrow in the bone. And the doctors thought that there was a experimental drug that was going through the approval process that they thought it might be able to prolong his life. Now, Fred, again, was very wealthy, and he was very well known in the Democratic circles. So according to what Rush Limbaugh said, Nancy Pelosi stepped in. Now, what's interesting is that if you or I required this drug, it would not have been administered to us because, again, it was in the trial stages and it hadn't been approved by the FDA. In either case, with the influence that Nancy Pelosi has, the drug was given to Barron's. Now, again, no one else could have ever had that given to them unless they were connected with, I guess, Pelosi. But anyway, to make a long story short, he still passed away. Now, as you might or might not know, there's a little girl that's trying to save her own life. She needs a lung transplant. And the way the program is set up right now, you have to be 12 before they'll put you onto a list to be able to receive a lung transplant. And Kathleen Sebelius was asked to intervene, and she pretty much refused. So I think she made a comment, some live and some die. Just pretty incredible. But anyway, so then I guess the federal judge ruled, and now the girl is on a list to receive a lung transplant. In either case, what this really amounts to, and the reason that I thought I'd make this video, is we know what's going on with the IRS. The IRS is being turned inside out and upside down for having violated the trust of the American people. And we know that they absolutely targeted conservative groups. There's no doubt that they were doing that. And they also targeted wealthy conservative donors. And there's no doubt that they did that as well. Now, the problem is that it's throughout the entire IRS. This wasn't just one isolated case. We had 2 rogue agents in Cincinnati. It's happening all across the country. And now, when Obamacare gets rolled in under the IRS, what do you think might happen to Republicans? Well, look what happened with what Nancy Pelosi was able to do. Can you imagine now that if the IRS decides that, well, he's a wealthy Republican donor, and we know he needs that special expensive surgery, we're just not going to approve the surgery. Doesn't matter how much money he has, he won't be able to have the surgery. They have access to the voter rolls. They'll have access to all of our information. We know they play dirty. Can you imagine what could happen to the Republican Party? They'll stop at nothing. We know that. They've proven that over and over and over again. Now, can you imagine if they have access to everyone's medical history, everyone's bank accounts, everyone's political affiliation? Who do you think they're going to support? Won't be the Republicans. Scary, huh? Yeah. See, what Nancy Pelosi did was also illegal. It should never have been allowed. But that's how they operate. The law doesn't matter. As long as they get what they want, for whom they want, that's all that matters. Pretty scary, isn't it? Well, I'm hoping that it all goes down to poop chutes. I'm hoping that the IRS gets shut down. You know, I watched part of the hearing this morning, and the word that kept coming up was it's a culture of corruption, and that's what it is. And you're not going to change it by putting in a new director. That ain't going to happen. It really has got to be shut down. And we'll go to a flat tax. Makes sense to me. What about you?